So we'll start with the passage. What is this passage about? It is about cancer, tumor cells, and the solution to fight cancer, and certain keywords you have to catch, and the location, how they function. Based on that, a few questions. You should be able to answer all the questions, not a big deal. What is the first question? From the passage, why do you think the capsules are called nanoparticles? Easy question. All of you go to, there's a blank over here. Please go there. Above that, there's one sentence. What does it say? Smaller than bacteria, the capsules are called nanoparticles because their size is measured in nanometers. Do you see that? So what is the option? What are the options here? As they are smaller than bacteria, they can kill healthy cells. Capsule size is measured in nanometers. So what is the answer? The third option, based on explicit information, easy to answer. Question number 2. How does the magnetic field help in drug release? So the passage talks about the magnetic field, and that warms up. Because of that, the nanoparticles act. Everything is okay. Oh, fine. So magnetic field focuses on the cancer site and ensures that drug is released where it is needed. Right or wrong? Magnetic field pulls out the tumors. Does it pull out the tumors? Mark it wrong. Magnetic field is invisible to cancerous cells and attacks it. Is it right? No. Magnetic field drives the capsule within the bloodstream. No. So what is the answer? First option is the answer. This is a bit challenging. Other questions are easy. If at all there is one challenging, question number 2. Question number 3. Which of the following is an antonym of brutal? Brutal usually goes with, write the combination brutal attack. One combination attack. Another combination brutal. We have got in our material massacre. What is the meaning of the word massacre? Kill a lot of people in a cruel manner, brutally. So brutal is a positive word or a negative word? Negative word. With that awareness, we will go to Babu. So we'll have a look at the options. What is the first one here? Harsh is positive or negative? Mark it wrong. We need a positive word, right? Violent, positive or negative? Ferocious. You know the word harsh. Harsh means what? Not soft. So write the meaning harsh. Not smooth, not soft. Usually it goes with the tone, harsh tone. Means not happy, rather angry. Violent, you all know the word violence. From that you get violent. Write the meaning of the word ferocious. Ferocious means ready to attack. Ferocious. Usually it goes with animals, especially dogs. We use a ferocious dog or ferocious breed. Means ready to attack. For that we also use the word aggressive. You all know the word aggressive? Oh, very good. I appreciate your response. Aggressive. Ready to attack. But the word aggressive, it goes with animals. It goes with marketing. Aggressive marketing. Some companies resort to aggressive marketing. Means they go all out, get the customers. And it also goes with people, aggressive people. When you go to certain areas, you come across aggressive people. They are always ready to fight or attack. Remember the combinations, important. So can we consider this word? Kind, hold this one, a positive word. Civilized, but brutal, what is the opposite based on the context? Is it civilized? Does it go with the context? No. So what is the answer? Kind is the right word. An easy one. Which of the following is a synonym of accumulate? So the passage talks about these the drugs which kill the cancer cells. They get accumulated in liver. Accumulate means what? To get a lot lot of things reach a particular place and they stay there. Based on that, opposite word is what? Disperse. Disperse means I hope things are going on, no problem over there, but something is bothering. Things are falling on and off. Make sure they don't come in my direction. Disperse means what? Get dispersed, go in different directions. Is it the answer? Scatter also means the same. They are synonyms. Get scattered, get dispersed. Diffuse. No. Diffuse means what? To get blended with something. Diffuse. Also to go down. The tensions are being diffused. Means what? They have been brought down. And what is the next one? Amass. Means what? To collect, to gather, to get accumulated. So they want the synonym or antonym and realize out of context. So what is the answer here? An easy one or difficult one? Loud. Easy means loud it has to be. Difficult, low voice. Which sentence in the passage tells us about the harmful effects of cancer drugs? Cancer drugs, what is objective? To kill the cancer cells. But when we take cancer drugs, there are certain side effects. One of the side effects mentioned by the passage or in the passage, they reach the liver. In the liver, they may cause damage. Have you read the passage? So which option talks about liver? Which option has liver? Is it the first one? No. Here, harmful effects of cancer drugs. They hold that medicine securely. Those caught in the liver could damage that organ if they shed too much of an anti-cancer drug. So what is the answer here? Third option is the answer. Again, based on explicit information, easy to answer. Those who have read the passage, I'm sure you agree. Yes or no? Which of the following sentences is or are true? But not that difficult, this one. Nanoparticles seek tumors, but the passage says nanoparticles do not seek, emphatically mentioned, do not seek tumors. So that is true or not true? Not true. Mark that one wrong. Oh, what is happening? Nanoparticles, give me a second. Nanoparticles can accumulate in liver. Already we have seen. Tick that one. Nanoparticles slip through the holes of blood vessels and accumulate in the tumor. So how do they travel through the blood vessels? And whenever there are holes in the blood vessels, they pass through those holes and reach the tumor cells. Right or wrong? Please respond. Nanoparticles release drug only when the body is warmed. No. So what is the answer? Body is warm? No. Magnetic field is warm. Here, body is warm. That is not the right one. Based on the 2 and 3. Which option is that? Second option. Again, easy, provided you read the passage quickly and understand the context. How does a nanoparticle get warmed up? So passage talks about the magnetic field warming up and the drugs acting upon the tumor or cancer cells. Presence of toxic drugs warm up nanoparticles. Please respond. No. When exposed to magnetic field, nanoparticles get warmed up. Clearly mentioned in the passage. So what is the answer? Second option. You don't have to go beyond that. Choose a correct word that fits in the blank in the given passage. So where do we have the blank? How does it go? A magnetic field is an invisible force by a magnet. You can think of words like created by the magnet, generated by the magnet, or a few words you can think of. What are the options here? Can you use the word motivated? No. Created? Hold that word. I'm not saying no. Induced? Hold this one. Emanated? Hold this one. What is the last one? Generated. But of all these words, we have to go for the fifth option. What is the fifth option? Magnetic field generated by a magnet. Generate. Emanate means to release. And you can also consider the word create. But which is a better word? Generated is a better word. And induce has a different connotation. Question over. How many? 8 questions. Has anyone got all the 8 correct? Very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wonderful. Very good. Highly appreciated. Now we have a closed test. What is this about? Have you read this? See, when I ask a question, you guys have to respond. Have you read this? Yes. Easy or difficult? Difficult. Moderate. But what is this about? Please underline water, energy, food, nexus. First, you have to know the meaning of the word nexus. That's an important word. Write the word nexus, write the meaning. Nexus means connection. Usually this word goes with the nexus between the police and the either thieves or politicians. I don't want to write that. That's a public talk. There is a nexus between the police and the politician. There is a nexus between the police and the thieves. It means some sort of understanding, and based on that understanding, they try to sort out the problem. Are you guys aware of that or not aware of that? Not aware, fine. Aware, also fine. Part of the system. So, nexus, it's all about water, energy, food. Nexus means connection. Is also in a transboundary context. These are important things. Water is essential. Energy is essential. Food is essential. So, overall, this connection is important or not important, especially when it comes to transboundary context. So you have to look for a word, something that reflects importance of this connection or nexus. Can you consider the word cynical? Write the meaning of the word cynical. First you write the word cynic. Cynic means a person with a negative attitude. A person with a negative attitude. Some people always think negatively. Then we say he is a cynic, and for that we also use the expression sick mentality, not normal, sick, S-I-C-K, sick mentality. And we use a particular word, write the word, I'm sure you guys know this, pessimistic. Pessimistic means what? Always negative thing. What is opposite? Optimistic. Does it go with the context? No. Particular? No. We have to look for a word that conveys important. What is the third option here? Critical. Critical means what? Important, vital, critical, crucial, important, essential, indispensable. They all mean the same. Hold that one. Complementary. Underline the letter I. You know the difference between complementary, the letter E, the letter I. What is the difference? I goes with what? Praise. You praise someone, then we say he has given me a compliment. What is the spelling here? I. But complementary E, something that completes something else. The spelling of complete, C-O-M-P-L-E-T-E. That way you can remember. Does it go with the context? No. You have got the word trivial many a time. Trivial means what? Silly, not important. But here context talks about the nexus is important. So obviously one word stands out. Which word is that? Critical. Easy, in my opinion, provided you understand the context. We'll go to the next one. The water, energy, food nexus is also critical in a transboundary context. One partnership addressing this issue is a transboundary water cooperation arrangement established by someone. Seems right? Hold that one. Vested by someone? No. Here, vested is a negative word. Please write one combination. Then I'll give the meaning. Vested interest. This is a typical combination. They have vested interest. The organization has vested interest. The union has vested interest. Means selfish. Selfish. Also write one more better word. Ulterior motive. Ulterior motive also means selfish motive. They all mean the same. Vested interest, selfish, and ulterior. Have you copied? Does it go with the context? If you respond, I will continue. Does it go with the context? No. Fixed. Can we use a fixed by? It talks about something like starting, founding, or establishing. These are the words you have to think of. Rooted, rooted in. It takes the preposition in. But what is the preposition you see? And temporary does not go with the context. So what is established by someone or something? This is also an easy one. Established by. Next one, what is the number? 11. And here, established by the Mahakali Treaty project between India and Nepal, which aims to water and energy security for both parties, which aims to get, achieve, accomplish. These are the words that have to pop up before you go to the option. So what is the first one? Fulfill usually goes with, write the word needs. Fulfill your needs. Fulfill means complete. Fulfill the task, fulfill the responsibility. Unfulfilled means not completed. Acquire, you can consider. But achieve, achieve what? Water and energy security. So perfect word, goes with the context. Hold the third option. Execute, can you use the word execute here? Execute, one meaning, implement. Please write the meaning of that word, implement. Execution of a particular project, implementation of a particular project. So commence, no. There is an objective. It talks about why it established to achieve something. So what is the right word here? Achieve. Achieve security. Easy one. And the next one, water and energy security for both parties. Although the Pancheshwar multi-purpose project is long delayed, several impacts are being highlighted. Underline the word impact and which part of speech is it? Write noun. Before that, what do you need? Adjective. Salutary. Let us say you don't know the meaning of that word. Hold that one. Beneficial impacts have been highlighted. Any project, when they want to highlight the project, they talk about the benefits or the advantages or disadvantages. Advantages, that means the benefits, beneficial. Hold that one. Worthy, it doesn't go with the context. Can we use a negative word? Imagine you have to decide between these two. So what is the right word you think? Beneficial. You can take the elimination approach. And the last one, am I right? The UN Water Conference is the first major UN meeting on water in nearly 50 years and is to be a significant step. Is what? Studious. Write the meaning of the word studious. I have given many a time the word diligence. You're all diligent people. Diligence means what? Hard working. Studious means the same thing, but goes more with students and studies. Write the combination. He or she, that is your choice. Don't think I have gender bias. Studious, what is the word here? Studious. Student means diligent, serious about studies. Studious. It goes with students. That is a combination you have to remember. Does it go with this context? Mark it wrong. Neglected. Can we use a negative word here? Examined. Hold this one. Considered. Examined to be or considered to be. Which one seems better? So strike off that one. Mediated to be, not right. So what is the answer? Considered to be a significant step. Who has got, how many questions based on this? Who has got all the 5 correct? A few students. Who has got 4 correct at least? But in my opinion, an easy one in the sense, it takes some time. Time taking, but you should be able to answer all the 5. Not a big deal. That is in my opinion. Shall we go to the next set? Your favorite, what is it? Error location. All are easy. 4 questions or 5 questions? One reading you should be able to. So I'll read the first one over here. The Narendra Modi government has issued a detailed set of actions to be undertaken by digital media entities to ensure they complies or they comply with. Easy one. You don't have to go beyond. And do you have to read this sentence 2 times? Is the mic on? Do you have to read a sentence like this 2 times or 1 time? Only 1 time, and here you have to stop. You have to be damn sure about they complies. Simple, easy question. Wrong. They comply with. So where is the error? Is it B or C? That doesn't matter. The main rationale beyond Finland's decision. How many of you have chosen the first part? Raise your hands. 1, 2, 3. Surprised. You have to stop here. And if you are exposed to the language, the moment you read the main rationale beyond Finland, you'll stop there. There's a standard expression. The main reason behind, the main motive behind, the main rationale behind. What is the word I have used? 3 times. So what is the word they have given? So where is the error? Easy or difficult? It's an easy question. See, I'm forming the patterns to make you realize the main reason behind his behavior, the main motive behind the murder, the main rationale behind something. These are standard phrases, standard expressions. How do you know this? Does your grammar knowledge help you? No way. This is the point I'm trying to put across from day one. If you want to cross mains hurdle, if you want to get the final selection, do remember what matters in the real sense in the long run. It is your contextual awareness and the bottom line, to what extent you are exposed to the language. If you are exposed, you are ready for the exam. You are not exposed, all these questions you have to go upside down to find the error. Imagine you cannot stop here. Imagine a situation where you read the first part, you could not spot the error. What will happen? How much time do you have to spend? You have to read the entire sentence. It takes time. You have to check so many aspects. Subject, verb, phrases, clauses, all the grammar rules. And you may find, you may not find, because the very first part there is an error. You work on B, C, D, E. What is the point in working? Sheer waste of time. So do remember the importance of that. An easy one. Next one also an easy one. As predicted, Russian authorities. What is the subject here? I want you guys to respond. Authorities, singular or plural? Remember that. Have signaled, singular or plural? Have signaled possible countermeasures to the alleged assault on its security or their security. So where is the error? Easy or difficult? It is difficult. The way you responded, I can make out. Easy or difficult? When a lot of students say easy, loud voice, it is easy. A few students, low voice, easy. Difficult. Very simple. Reading between the lines, I can make out. In my opinion, it is an easy one. What is the reason? Whenever you read a sentence, I have already given a few tips. Usually I give 20 tips how to spot the errors. First you have to know what the subject is. Then as you keep reading, the most important thing, you have to look for the time phrase. But simultaneously, so many things have to work back of your mind. So subject plural. Then while reading, you have to look for the verb. Singular verb, wrong. Plural verb, right. Singular pronoun, wrong. Plural pronoun, right. The moment you come across it, you have to stop. And their security and national interest. We'll go to the next one. This is also an easy one. The government has also implemented policies aimed at what? Underline the word attracting. Foreign investment. Then we have a conjunction. And then we have to use the same word form. Attracting, verb in ing form. And here promotes or promoting. You got this? Oh, that's highly appreciable. Attracting, promoting. What is this question about? Parallel expression. Parallel expression. First question is about what? grammar. First question is about what? They comply with. So subject verb agreement. Please make a note. Second question is about what? Standard phrase, standard expression, beyond. Standard expression. Though it is about the preposition, I would rather prefer standard expression. And next one is about what? Subject pronoun agreement. Subject, I hope you are making a note. Subject pronoun agreement, an important dimension. And the last one is about what? Parallel expression. So all the four questions easy. Who has got all the four correct? Please raise your hands. That means they are not easy. Who has got 3 correct? Who has got 2 correct? Only 2. I think you have to practice more. That's what I would like to say. We'll go to the next set. These are rather challenging for people like you. And these are CAT model. What do you see here? You see a word. At the outset, you have to know the meaning of that word. And you have to know the word profile. Word profile in the sense, you have to know the meaning, you have to know the part of speech, and you have to know the word combination. Based on that, you can decide whether a particular sentence is right or wrong. Otherwise, impossible. So what is the meaning of the word assent? There are 2 words. One is this one and the other one is assent. What is the meaning of the word I have just written? Go up. Ascend, ascent. Climb up. Opposite, descent, descent. So it has nothing to do with this, but what is the meaning of the word assent? Approve. Write the meaning. Approve. Approve or give permission. With that awareness, once the directors have given their assent to the proposal, we can begin. Once they give their permission, we will begin. Right or wrong? Please respond. There were murmurs of assent from all corners of the stadium. Murmurs of assent does not make any sense whatsoever. That you should realize. Mark it wrong. Before an act of parliament can become law, it needs to receive royal assent. The Prime Minister assented to change. So it needs to receive royal assent. Means royal permission. This is also right. She nodded her assent to the proposal. Perfect. Any proposal, we give the assent. Typical combination. The resolutions of this council were subject to popular assent. Again, they have to get the popular approval. So where is the error? All are correct except second one. How many of you have got this one? Very good. These are a bit challenging under pressure. Infuse. Infuse means what? To insert or to pump in or to project or to inject. Any of these words you can think of. The arrival of a group of friends on Saturday infused new life into the weekend. This is a typical expression, infuse new life, underline 1 unit. Means bring in new life or pump in new life, infuse new energy, new life, new blood. These are the combinations. Infuse new blood. I think I've used that one. So is it right or wrong? A union would infuse unnecessary conflict into the company's employee relation. Infuse unnecessary conflict. Nothing wrong with this. This is also right. Many of the girls seem to be infused with excitement on seeing the snow. Perfect. Infused with what? Excitement. Nothing wrong with this. A mosquito infuses malaria in humans. No, no. Mosquito infuses malarial parasite into human blood. That parasite causes malaria. Mosquito does not cause malaria. How many of you have biology background? Raise your hands. Zoology background. And I'm sure you all know malarial parasite. So that is responsible for malaria fever. And mosquito is only a vector. Means what? It carries the parasite. When it bites, the parasite is injected. So this is not correct. The new faith had appeared to Constantine, likely to infuse young and healthy blood. As I said, this is another standard expression. Infuse new blood, young blood. Underline the word blood. Healthy blood. Nothing wrong. So what is the answer here? Fourth one is wrong. How many of you have chosen the fourth option? Ah, wonderful. I appreciate it. Good, very good. Only two students. That's right, no one. Not an easy one. You got to be a little careful. Confront means what? Come face to face in an antagonistic manner. I have used one word. What is that word? Antagonistic manner. Antagonistic means hostile. Hostile means also write the word enmity. They all mean the same. Antagonism, enmity, hostile, confrontation, face-to-face enmity. Once you know the meaning, then you can work on the question. Have you written all these words? So what is the first one here? The new law was confronted too many profound difficulties. As I said, when you learn a particular word, generally what students do, they learn the word and the meaning. That is of no use from the exam point of view. Do remember, it is sheer waste of time stopping with the meaning of a particular word. You have to know the part of speech, you have to know the meaning, you have to know how to use a word based on examples, you have to know the word combinations, word forms, word usage, and synonyms, antonyms. Here, the very first one, if you are aware of all these things, you will know that is the answer. What is the reason? The word confronted takes the preposition either with or by. What is the preposition here? There itself you get the answer if you are good at English. You can save your time going to all other options. Imagine how much time it takes for you to read all other options. It takes about a few seconds. Not advisable. Confronted with, confronted by. These are the prepositional combinations. And I'm sure you all know prepositional combinations an important topic. You all know. And you'll be surprised to know the Oxford University has published, listen very carefully, has published two books, volume 1, volume 2, on prepositional combinations. Volume 1, 15,000. Volume 2, 15,000. Total, what is the number? Can you learn all those? English is a combinational language. Millions of combinations are there. I've given one example. Prepositional combinations, how many? Are you guys listening? 30,000. Impossible to learn. But you have to learn prepositional combinations. Yes or no, from the exam point of view. Then you have to think wisely. Then you have to ask yourself, there are so many combinations, millions of combinations. When it comes to prepositions alone, there are 30,000 plus. How to learn, how to answer questions based on word combination. What is the source? Then I tell students the Hindu paper is the source. Editorials is the source. When you read the Hindu paper, editorials, you come across important combinations. Only those combinations that touch in the exam. That is the source. A person who reads a paper, any paper for that matter, not Telugu paper, English paper, so could be the Hindu, the Indian Express, will definitely answer this one. Because he must have seen many a time the word confronted and the combination, prepositional combination with by. And the next second he knows there is an error here. Then he will not look at other options. Do I have to look? No way. But still I would like to substantiate my statement. What is the second one here? Underline confronted with or by. It is an issue we will have to confront at some point. Here you may ask, we don't see with by. What is the reason? It talks about a different dimension altogether. It talks about the time. What time? At some point. Based on the phrase that follows, this may be applicable, may not be applicable. That awareness is also very important. And what is the next one? Confront the issue of deforestation. Again, here we have used the noun confront the issue. The issue is a noun, a different pattern altogether. And here confront the problem, again the noun. And one more thing you have to understand, you cannot take things for granted when it comes to English. I've just made a statement, prepositional combination. What is the combination I have given? It takes with by. But three options, you haven't seen those prepositions. Have you seen? Then you have to tell yourself, based on the context, based on the pattern that may come into existence, may not come into existence. That awareness you get only if you are exposed to the language. Otherwise, impossible. What will happen? Oh, master said confront with, confront by. How many options without, with and by? Three options. So master confused us. Which one to select? No, don't. English is not like that. You have to be. Context is the king. Remember, ultimately what matters? Context. What does the sentence talk about? That decides what has to be used and what should not be used. Shall we go to the next one? That set is over. How many questions? One is infuse, the other one is confront, and the third one is assent. Who has got all the three right? Correct. All the three. Two, at least two. A few students. Fine. We'll go to the next one. These are challenging, in my opinion. Not easy. Is there any problem with the audio? No, I'm asking the coordinator. So here you see two sentences, then you have to use a connector. There has been an industrial rise in the number of industrial units due to the globalization and industrial policies. Positive or negative? First you have to understand this context. Positive or negative? Positive. Employment has increased but less than expected and of low paying quality. Positive or negative? That means contrasting or not contrasting. So despite of, right or wrong? No, it is too loud, Sai. Too loud now. Why echo is there? So this has been given many a time. Is there any audio problem? Back rows. Am I loud and clear? Then why are you trying to? Live in, okay. So first option, right or wrong? In spite of, right? Despite of, wrong combination. Although is what? A contrasting word. Hold that one. Brief, does it go with this context? Adjacent to, out of context. Under. So what is the answer? Although there has been industrial rise in the number of industrial units due to the globalization and industrial policies, employment has increased but less than expected. Contrasting information. This is easy of the three. Next one is what? Compared to normal procedures, simplified criminal procedure costs comparatively low in procedure. One statement. And here it talks about normal procedures, and what is the other aspect? Simplified criminal procedure. Which one is better? Simplified criminal procedures cost comparatively low in procedure. And because of that, what happens? It saves judicial resources and promotes the efficiency of lawsuits. Two advantages. Thereupon, it can be used. Thereupon means based on that, it saves judicial resources and promotes the efficiency of lawsuits. But not easy. Can you use the word specially? No. Adversely, we need a positive word because it saves the cost, one thing, and it also saves judicial resources. Adverse is a negative word. Remember I gave the other day, adverse report means what? Negative report. So further, you can hold this one, you can hold this one. Beyond or besides. Besides would have been a better word. So you have to choose between thereupon, further. But here it talks more about by doing something, it saves something. By doing what? Simplifying the criminal procedure, cutting down of cost. And based on that, saving judicial resources. A better word is the first option, thereupon. Based on that. Further means what? In addition. But here based on the first one, the second one. The problem of finding a square, this is very difficult. I don't know how many of you have got this one right. Not easy to make out because the context is not easy to understand. The problem of finding a square equal in area to a given circle, like all problems, may be increased in difficulty by the imposition of restriction. This itself is difficult to understand. but to some extent you can. Second sentence, under the designation, underline the word designation. This is out of context. Under the designation, they may be embraced. Embrace means to accept, to receive, to implement, to follow. Embrace quite a variety of geometrical problems. I don't know whether you have understood or not. To be very frank, I myself could not understand the context. To be very frank, to be candid. But here, no more. Can we use elimination approach? No more. Gradually. I don't think so. Meanwhile, they don't go. They go more with the time aspect. Slowly, gradually, meantime, meanwhile. Only two words you can consider. Consequently, therefore. But the key says consequently. Answer is the fourth option. How? To be very frank, I don't know. It is difficult to make out the context. Has anyone chosen the fourth option? Ah, great. I appreciate you guys, those who have chosen the fourth option. Next, what do you have? Phrase replacement. All of you remember some questions. I should not be saying this, but yesterday we got a question, remember? Related to poetry. Yesterday, right? Mocked. I gave the answer vibrates. Remember? Actually, what happened, I shouldn't be saying this, but still I'm compelled to say, because the key says what? Imitates, right? This is something like confidential. They have taken from a particular source. According to that source, the word is poetics, not poetry. And poetics is a work of, name of the work or the book written by Aristotle. And this book is all about art. And it talks about art. What is art? Conceptual insights. So Aristotle defined art as nature removed from its place twice. Someone asked him, what is art? He said, nature removed. Are you listening? You're not listening. Please listen. I have been observing you. See, one problem here, the guys who occupy the front benches, you cannot escape the master's looks. And you have a choice. You can hide your face with the handout or with a notebook and do whatever you want to do. When I saw you first, when I started the session, you were looking this side. Now you are looking at the guy next to you and completely engrossed in something. Not at all taking what I am talking about. That disturbs the faculty. And someone in the back row, I can't make out, so it doesn't matter. He's yawning, sleeping, scratching his head. I don't care, I cannot make out. He is happy, I'm happy. As simple as that. But the front row girl, the moment I say important information, she starts yawning. How will I feel? And I tell something, this is something important because I wanted to give the clarity. And you are not bothered to listen, so that distracts. Please don't do that. So, in that, Aristotle said, art is nothing but nature removed twice from its place. What does it mean? When an artist sees a beautiful landscape, he removes it from there and brings it here. Then he paints that. Then he removes from here and puts it on the canvas. Based on that, he said, art is nothing but nature removed from its place twice. So, art is nothing but imitating nature. Art is what? You see a landscape, you paint. Imitation. You see a human being, you mold the sculpture. It is imitation. The right word is imitate. Had they used the word poetics. But what is the word they have used? And they have lifted a few words. Changed the poetics, the name of the book, to poetry. Then based on the word poetry, I said vibrates. But actual word is what? Poetics. That is the name of the book written by Aristotle, all about art. In that book he says art is nothing but imitation of nature. So sometimes you may come across, you got to be careful. That I was a bit, I was not convinced with that question. Poetry and that imitation, they don't go with each other. Anyhow, we'll go to, these questions are to some extent easy. What are these about? Phrase replacement. The kowtow was the stumbling block. The foreigners were willing to do. The clue for you, please underline were willing. Is it present or past? Past. Based on that, to do only such obeisance to the Chinese emperor as they will or they would. Because past here, past. Will, past form, would. So how many options with would? As they would be done, no. As they would be being done, no. Would be doing, as they would. Willing to do, as they would do. So what is the answer here? Once you understand the context, past, past, easy. As they would do to their own sovereigns. These people are normally quickly eliminated. Here, easy, but you have to know how to read. These people are normally, pause, quickly eliminated. Usually, quickly eliminated. That means right or wrong? Nothing wrong with this expression. Based on that, what is the answer? No correction required. No point in reading out all these options. Save your time. But generally what happens, when you read a sentence like this, because we all use logic all the time, logically thinking, your first reaction, normally quickly, oh, something is wrong. Definitely not correct. Nothing wrong. You have to understand the context. These people are normally, pause, quickly eliminated. And you have to substitute for more confidence. These people are usually slowly eliminated, quickly eliminated. Perfect. That means no error. We'll go to the next one. Just as the finance available to the exchequer varies every year, the priorities on which, underline the word priorities, singular or plural, on which it ought to being spent. But here you have to know the helping verb. Please write ought to. And also write the helping verb should. Ought to brackets you write formal, should informal, Old English, Standard English. And same function, first you write these two words, then I'll give the function. Have you written? So these are used, please write, these are used to advise or suggest someone. Underline advise, underline suggest someone. Ought to, formal, you ought to be punctual. Means what? You should be punctual. Informal, you should be punctual. Formal, you ought to be punctual. But in Western countries, ought to became outdated. They stopped using ought to. Formal or informal, they use should. Both mean the same. Now people are using only should, not ought to. So that is an important helping verb. In the exam they may use, that's a different thing. And it ought to being spent, is it grammatically correct? You have to say something like it ought to be spent, ought to be done, ought to be spent, ought to be bought. Here the verb is in which form? To be spent, passive voice means past participle. You got the pattern? You ought to spend on something, one pattern. Ought to be spent, passive voice. But here the key says which option? Please check the key. It ought to be spent, not correct. Spend is a verb, past is spent, past participle also spent. That means can we use the word spend? No, mark the word spend wrong. And here it could be it or that. Priorities that ought to be spent. So you can substitute it with that. That ought to be spent. Which ought to be spent? We are using a relative pronoun, not a straight personal pronoun. They ought to be spending. No, it ought to be spent. Grammatically not correct. So what is the answer? Ought to be spent is a word. And here you cannot consider no correction required. Given option is wrong. Given sentence is wrong. So in place of it, you can use a relative pronoun that. That ought to be spent. Perfect. How many of you have chosen the second option? Very good. Highly appreciable. So we'll go to the last three questions. What are these about? Are you guys here? I have asked a question. What is my question? Don't look at me like that. My question, if you cannot tell, you are not here. Very simple. I said, what are these about? Idioms. As such, one is easy, two are difficult at the outset. But if you understand the context, you should get all the three. It should not be that difficult. So first one, to attempt to land troops in Venezuela. What is it? One more is there. 26 is over. 27. Okay. To attempt to land troops in Venezuela would have galvanized. Galvanize means to improve or to bring to the forefront. Gather, simply right? To mobilize, to gather, to mobilize, to gather. The people of South America against the invaders. Who would be bad? Is it grammatically correct? Which would have been bad? Grammatically correct. Which would have been bad? Seems right. Hold this one. Which would have bad? Grammatically right or wrong? Which would have been badly for its image? Can you use the word badly here? So what is the answer? Which would have been bad for its image. Perfect. So what is the answer? Second option is the answer. So easy or difficult? These are rather easy. He has property. Now we have idioms. He has property enough to make us independent, but that will be valuable only when we are under the sod. As such, not easy, not a popular idiom, so you cannot guess. But they have provided the context. So it is something like not positive. He has property enough to make us independent, but contrasting. That will be valuable only when we are under the sod. Once you understand some condition is there to use that property or to make that property useful, you understand that you can take elimination approach. What is the first one? Can you use measure in units? No. Dead and buried in a grave. Hold this one. You cannot decide. To contribute towards a charity. Charity does not come into picture. To update the existing business. Not relevant. To decline the existing resources. No. So what is the answer? Dead and buried in a grave. In Telugu we say something like mana poyaka upayogapadutundi. Have you heard of that? That's what it means. Now it is of no use. Once we die, it will be useful. I hope you all know that. Usually I don't use Telugu, but to make you understand. Next one is easy. We have used many a time, and you must have got exposed to this. Sometimes it takes years and years to finally get it done. But by never backing down, by never giving up, they get these films to the screen by hook or by crook. You have to get success by hook or by crook. Don't take literally. Meaning of that what? By any means, fair means or foul means. But don't take the second one here, okay? By any means. That means you have to work very hard. At any cost, you have to get success. So what is the option goes with that meaning? First one is not right. Second one is not right. What is the third one? By any possible means. Generally it talks about by fair or foul means. But another connotation, at any cost. By hook or by crook, we have to become a bank officer. Means at any cost. Don't give the excuses. Become an officer and show. Okay. This is an easy one. And third one is easy based on the context. She is a really good audience too. She will listen to and laugh at my stupid jokes. That means she is really good. When everyone else just tells me to put a sock in it. He himself admitting stupid jokes and someone enjoys and appreciates. But others, when you tell a stupid joke, what do they say? Stop, obviously. So based on that, what is the answer? Stop talking.